We have two very exciting guests today. One is the superstar Hrithik Roshan, and the second guest is the super director Sidharth Anand. So without much ado, let me welcome the duo. Welcome Hrithik and welcome Sidharth.
Hi, Komal.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So how has the lockdown treated both of you?
Yes, it's given me time to stop, center myself, recalibrate, and it's done wonderful things to me. Actually, to be honest, I think I was on a path of burning out after war. I really felt like I was, I was going at this breakneck speed, and somehow. I know there's a lot of bad attached also to what we've been through in the past 2 years, but I'd like to look at the positive and say that this has definitely given me the time that I needed to reassess. As Sid said, I think we all have evolved in many, many amazing ways through this. I think it has been instrumental in filtering out the frivolous from our lives. And I think all in all, it has been good.
Oh, wow. That's very nice. So both of you all have taken it very positively. Tell me, after war, you all are on to your next film, Fighter.
Yes.
So does that mean that it is a rejuvenated Hrithik and a rejuvenated Sidharth Anand who are making Fighter?
Yes, please.
आप जाइए चलिए.
I don't think Sid needs any rejuvenation.
Okay.
Because he is, he's walking, talking cinema. He's just breathing that all the time. But yes, it's extremely exciting, and more so because I think coming back on a set where Sid has seen me be a certain good in war. Which just kind of drives me to know that there is this anxiety that is building because the good has already been done. Now it has to be better. So personally, I take that as a responsibility because I don't want to disappoint my director who has had the faith in me to cast me in a film like this. And it's scarier because it's very hard to impress him now because I've already done everything that I know. So what more am I going to pull out of my pocket? That's something that I'm going to spend some nights thinking about.
I think how you're an actor personified. How can you even say these things? I think it's his humility. And I think it obviously stems from my excitement, which I exude whenever I meet him with whatever I want to do. I think, like I always say, that he's a complete hero. There's nothing else that actually a director can ask for from an actor that Hrithik can't give you. I think you have to actually challenge yourself and come up with something time and again, even on the set. I would say time and again, every hour on the set, that you can utilize his potential, which I think none of us have yet been able to. And it's a challenge every time I write something for him or I put up a frame for him. There's nothing he can do. So it's really exciting. It's motivating. And in one of my earlier interviews, I'd said that I'd always hoped to actually aspire and become a filmmaker that Hrithik Roshan would do a film with me. And I think it's for me, and every day that I can work with him or I can even bounce off ideas with him and get his feedback, because there's a hidden filmmaker in him, which
I'm sure
not many actors are. There's a filmmaker in him, and he looks at a broad perspective of the film. So when you do a two-hero film with him, it's a joy because he's not looking at himself at all. He's only looking at strengthening everything around him. That will eventually uplift the film and him then. So I think he puts himself last, which is a great joy to be working with someone like that.
Lovely. Hrithik,
somewhere in there, he has put the pressure on. You have not. But that's what he's done.
Good. I think actors work the best under pressure. But Hrithik, tell me, going by the title of your film, does an actor need to be a fighter in Bollywood always?
I think life warrants some amount of fight in everything, in your relationships, in your in your growth. A fight can be construed as discomfort. You have to struggle through something. Everything does in nature. So I guess a little bit of that is in all of us, and some of us have a lot of it, depending on what your environment has been, how you've grown up, and and more of it isn't great, less of it isn't bad. But I think we all have the fighter spirit inside of us, and for me, when I'm doing a film like this, it's all about accessing that side of me. And I know I have that side inside me because I have accessed it many times, mostly for Sid's films. So yes, to some extent, I think that spirit will be important in this film.
That's nice. And Hrithik, talking about inspirations, who is your inspiration in Bollywood and from Hollywood?
Well, okay.
I know you are an inspiration for many, but we would like to know who's the inspiration of many.
Okay, so honestly, I actually have a few actors that I go to in my head, but it really depends on the film and the kind of character that I'm playing. But for instance, if we take War, for instance, I had it might sound a little crazy, but it was a kind of like a mixture of DiCaprio, Bruce Willis, Mr. Bachchan, so some names like that.
Wow! Now I know the secret why you were so extraordinary in the film. You had so many inspirations.
Yeah, generally go to actors that I have looked up to for the traits that I want to get in myself. So, and it's wonderful because the more you watch the actor that is emoting the trait that you want to catch, and the more you think of it, the more you fill yourself with that information, the easier you have access to your own inventory of your feelings and your emotions. So it really works. It works for me.
Wow, lovely. Tell me, do actors actually have emotions? I know the question may sound a little weird, but since y'all are constantly acting in front of the camera, how do you realize that this is real emotion and this is a made-up emotion?
Oh, that way. Well, I have always, of course, every actor has his own process, and there's no process that's wrong. I am the kind of actor who I think takes from my own life. So I'm usually, sifting through my own memories and my experiences and trying to bring out something onto camera that I have, which is my secret. I mean, it's in my head. But yes, I take from my life. So usually the emotion is real because I can feel it. Because it's from my life, it's from my experience. So I usually feel all my emotions, and if I have, it's great because if I haven't felt the emotion and the director has said great shot, I know we are not in sync. I felt the emotion and there's something other than the shot, like the light or the sound is wrong, but the director says no, I want this because there's something about this shot that's really good. Then I know that we are in sync. And this is something that happens a lot with Sid and me. The moment I felt something, he catches it. He catches it. He loves that particular shot, and neither he or I have kind of explained that to each other because it's never happened. But instinctively, I know that he is catching on to something that is real. So, yeah, for me, I usually feel it. But yeah, that's just the way I am. Yeah.
You said you draw inspiration from your life. You search for what has happened and draw inspiration from that and then perform. How would you describe how life has treated you, or how life has been to you ever since you grew up and ever since you started understanding things?
Oh, life has been great to me. Absolutely incredible. It's helped me achieve all.
Explain in 3 sentences. In 3 sentences, what life has meant to you.
What are you putting me on the test? It's an incredible there are so many opportunities if you just take the initiative. The way I see it is that I think one should just start off deciding the kind of values and virtues one wants to lead their lives by. Is it as simplistic as I want to be strong, or I want to have, whatever it is that you want in your life, so you decide on the virtues, and then you initiate by taking on the challenges and the opportunities that give you those challenges, through which you build those values and the virtues. So that's what I have been, practicing, doing, and it's turned out amazing because all the things that I aspire to be, I am slowly becoming through the challenges that I take on and the experiences that I open my heart to all and every single experience that life has to offer. And through each one of them, I am building something inside me, and it's something good, inevitably. So it's wow. in all ways, it's a brilliant journey. It's absolutely incredible.
Lovely. Hrithik, what is the preparation an actor has to go through?
Again, I don't know about all actors. I know just about myself. And even about myself, it's very difficult to actually be aware, fully aware of the process that your brain is going through at all times. But I can try. I think the first thing is to find the connection with the character in the script. And once you've laid that foundation down, where you know that you've connected and the emotion that the character is going through are emotions that you are emotions which resonate with you inside you, then half the job is done. And from there starts this whole journey of seeking and searching. You're just constantly searching to find that guy within you. The way he will look, the way he will walk, depends on how close that character is to your true person. But yeah, that whole process of searching and seeking, I usually, when it comes down to it, then, I start with my hair. I try and get the hair right, basically, just mess around with the hair, because it's the most malleable visual thing that you can mess around with to see what all are the possibilities. And so I usually start with my hair, and then I work my way down, with the, can you do something on the neck, shirt, pants, and then down to the shoes, then the walk. So yeah, I go pretty nuts and I enjoy the process. But the magic really happens when you fill yourself up with enough, and then you try and find the edge. Like, what's the edge? What's the madness of this character? And I believe every single character that you play, no matter who or what he is or she is, requires some amount of madness, because in our real life, we are full of it. We are always doing things, saying things that we don't mean, experiencing emotions that we don't show. So there's a certain kind of madness that's required, where it gives you restraint as an actor. You want to feel a lot of emotion, but you're restraining because it's just, or you can just pretend that you're high or you're drunk. And you're less. Some kind of madness needs to be present, is what I believe. And that's when I think the magic happens. Something that I think Kabir required when we started War. And I told Sid, man, this guy he's too normal. He needs something. So secretly he and I thought that we'll just keep him a little drunk in his head. From there, it sparked something.
Yeah, he's an alcoholic. Yeah,
he was an alcoholic.
Yeah,
but these are just devices. But yeah, that's the kind of prep that there's no shape to it. Prep is always it's organic. It's got its own life.
Organic and chaotic.
Never stops right till the last shot of the film. You're always searching.
But Hrithik, you give about 1 year of yourself to a film. So when you sign a new film, you also have to unlearn, because you've lived a particular character. Now you've said goodbye to it. So the unlearning process also takes long.
Not really, actually. Not really. It's only a few times where you get emotionally attached with a character that you don't want to let go of, because it's something that that you've held very close to yourself. I felt that when I did films like Koi Mil Gaya and Kabil. I felt it a lot in those two films because, living and staying with certain emotions, like they can fill you up. They can fill you up with a nice feeling, and not having the opportunity to stay with those feelings kind of like is heartbreaking. So I felt that in films like Koi Mil Gaya and Kabil. But most often, everything that you go through in the process of searching and developing a character inside of you then actually remains with you in the most beautiful way. It is kind of like being in the 6th standard and then learning what you learn in the 7th and then the 8th, and when you go to the 9th, 7th and 8th, whatever you learned is there with you. So you're like carrying you're growing, and it's bettering you, and it's staying with you. So all the characters which I've done have the remnants of the characters have always stayed within me. And I've used them in the other, films which I've done.
Oh, that's interesting.
It can be reused. It can be
reused.
Recycled.
Yes.
It can be recycled, yeah.
What about actors? There are people who, after the popularity of OTT, especially during these last 20 months of lockdown, they feel the era of superstars is finished. Of course, I don't agree, but there are many who would say that superstars now don't matter. It is content which matters, and therefore even newcomers and new stars can work wonders at the on the OTT platforms, as also therefore at the box office. Your comments?
Well, I don't know the word superstars. I don't really know what that entails exactly, because it can mean so many things. But what I'm really delighted about with OTT is the number of the scope, the number of actors, the talent that I have been watching. It is so incredible because it makes me happy though. What you just said, it makes me happy because all kinds of people in our social environment need to be represented in beautiful ways in our films. And here the mold of this superstar that you talk about is like a fixed, somebody has created that as a fixed mold, which you have to fit yourself into, and it's very disconnected with what is real.
Correct.
And that when you try and aspire to be that, you are actually creating an environment of a film that it's going to trickle into the entire film. It's going to trickle into the intent, the tonality, the language, the sensibility of that film. So today, all of that is evolving. Our films are becoming more real. People are understanding what is real. Slapstick is remaining with comedy. Okay, so because even our action films, even our drama films, somewhere they become slapstick. But now that is actually being pushed out of the zone of films which need to be real. So I'm delighted. I'm absolutely. I feel it's, and you're right. There are actors who are so talented that who need to be stars in their own right. And this mold of that superstar, I don't think it's breaking. I think it's broken. I think it's long gone. And it's, I think, going to evolve into something better. I think it's just a shape that's going to change because the appreciation will be new. It will be for a new mold, and a lot of actors now can fit into that mold. I think it's going to be like customized, for each actor. So each actor can then be a superstar if he's a great actor. And how beautiful is that?
Superb. There are many aspiring actors, as Hrithik said, that the world is open now. Anybody can become an actor provided he has talent. So what is your advice to an aspiring actor? What does he need to have? Because each one thinks he's the best actor on earth, but a reality check is a must before they enter Bollywood. It's not a very easy place to find a foothold in, So what are the prerequisites of a fine actor, of a good actor?
Well, first of all, I think if you think you're the best actor in the world, like you said, each of us thinks that he's the best actor in the world. I think if the actor is thinking that, I would say don't become an actor, because I think you're going in the wrong direction. Because I think the first thing you need as an actor is to be humble about the fact that you know nothing. You know, because only when you're empty is when you can fill yourself with information about the character and then do something nice with it. But I think I would say surround yourself with people who are interested, are like-minded about cinema. You know, talk more about it. Try and dissect films. Practice. You know, there are online classes. Maybe you can do acting classes. But keep doing. Don't sit and think about how much drive you have, because a lot of us can do that. You can just sit and know that I have so much drive and I can do this and I want to and I will and all of that. But hello, are you doing something every single day? Are you giving the 4 to 5 hours every single day? I don't care what you're doing. You can be breathing. You can be singing. You can be, you know, trying to imitate or enact something that you have seen in a film or a scene that you've just seen. Or you can be reading about actors or cinema or something, but are you giving the 5 to 6 hours a day? You need to think about yourself as an Olympic athlete. How many hours a day does an athlete train? And are you training yourself that much or not? I mean, this half I'm saying and half I'm saying to myself, because I'm also pretty lazy when it comes to this. But I know the information is right. I think this is what we need to hear as actors. And I do not agree with the perception that, you know, let's just be cool, go on the set. You want to be angry, be angry. You want to have to be sad, just be natural, be natural. I don't get that. I don't know if that is even acting. It's just, I mean, you have to be really, really gifted to be able to say, acting mein. Why do you have to think so much? I don't get that. So I cannot condone that style of acting. But if you ask me, I think it requires a lot of work, a lot of hard work. Yeah. And so practice, I think, is the magic word.
Lovely, inspirational. As I said, the conversation could go on and on because it's a delight to be talking to Hrithik and Sid. Both of you know that we've had long conversations, we've had interviews, etc. But had it not been for a constraint on time, I think this interview could have stretched for 2 hours also. Anyway, thank you so much, Hrithik, and thank you, Sid, for being with us. Thank you very much and throwing light on so many topics. Thank you.